Okay, we're actually out of time, but I want to get this in because Jenna's been waiting patiently.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jenna.
So she says this. Hey, you guys, so on parenting, how do wives and husbands handle taking care of kids so the other gets a little time to oneself, etc.? How do you balance with work, understanding that God gave the caring role for household and kids, but ladies, how do your spouses help you without grumbling about taking his time away from him? What are the scriptures and how do you balance this?
Well, I was very blessed because Mitch liked hanging out with our kids, and again, they were 2 and 4 when we got together, so they weren't very old. He enjoyed with them. In fact, he enjoyed being with them. When he would come home from work, he would spend time with them and tickle them and laugh with them and play with them, and he did that until they left our home at 18. And so he enjoyed the girls. He never made me feel like he was doing it to help me. He understood that he took on that responsibility. When he married me, he took on a family. And so, he's really good about helping in that. I think that sometimes, and again, I don't really know this person exactly all the particulars about it, but sometimes women are asking their husbands to do way too much because they didn't have time to do it during the day because they played all day, or they were at the park, or they were talking to their friends on the phone, or they were on Facebook or watching TV shows or whatever. And so now the husband who's been gone for 8, 9, 10 hours, is supposed to come home now and help. So I understand that a Christian husband and a Christian wife need to be serving one another. They really do. And a husband hopefully, or father hopefully, isn't looking at his kids and begrudging that he has to watch them while mom maybe goes to the grocery store or hangs out with her friends for a couple hours once a week or something.
Right.
If a husband's giving you a hard time about that, then just respectfully ask him why. Why is that a hassle? And let him talk to you about it. Tell you why it's a hassle to him. Are you asking him too much, or you wanting too much for him? Are you not doing the things he's asking you and he's feeling a little put out because of that? I don't know. I mean, without being able to talk to this person face to face and ask those questions, I can only be a general in that. Yeah. But yeah, we're supposed to serve one another. Period.
And I think Steve, I was blessed that way too. Steve likes our kids, so he always wanted to play with them, and so when I was making dinner or whatever, they would be playing with him. What Steve and I did too is when he would come home from work, he usually would sit down like at the counter or whatever, and we would have talk time to. I would tell him whatever went on and all that kind of stuff while the kids played, and we just say, "Sorry, this is mom and dad time," and we have it. And then I was thinking is you could put the kids to bed early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just see so many kids that are up till 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
They can't even do school when that happens.
Yep.
So put them to bed, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever time, even when it's light out. My kids used to be like, why do we have to go to bed when it's light out? I know, sad day.
Alaska.
Because mom and dad need a little time. Right? And sometimes, we have time by ourselves. Like I would go read or do something else and Steve be doing something else. But the kids are already down, into bed. So that's one too. Yeah, I don't really understand when, so this is for the dads, so you could do, when dads are not like, sure, I'll watch the kids.
Yes.
While you go garage sailing with your friend or whatever it is, that you want to go do. I don't know. I think, and it could be, hopefully your kids aren't brats.
Right.
And the husband's like, no way, don't leave me alone with them. I'm not staying here by myself. Anyways, said if they're not bratty, and I do know, some people whose husbands just don't want to interact with the family. So if that was happening in my house, I'd be on my knees praying about it, and try to have conversations with him when I could, about it. Like, hun, this is going on. The kids need you, right? The kids need you to be.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you have a scripture for that or anything? She was saying she wanted a scripture.
I don't think there's any point blank scripture that the husband. Obviously the Bible speaks more to fathers than it does to mothers. So fathers are the ones who are responsible for these kind of things. But
you could show them Ephesians 6:4.
Yeah.
So kindly and all.
That's a good one.
Look at this verse I just saw today. No, write it and put it up on the mirror where he shaves. Anyways, it says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord." So they're really supposed to be doing some of that, So my mom told me that my dad, when he came home from work, he would take us to the park.
Right.
There was a park down the street, and every day he would take us. We were teeny weeny. He would just take us to the park, for my mom had however long, and she was making dinner or whatever she was doing. It just gave her like a little breather. So, I mean, there's all different kinds of things.
There's different ways.
Yeah. That you can
the
do.
only
Send
thing
them
that
out to
comes-
play.
I know, yes, and I think the thing that comes to mind in a husband-wife relationship is where our body, we don't belong to ourselves, we belong to one another, and so even in the sexual sense, I think you can obviously that's what that verse is referring to, but Mitch is supposed to be a servant in the home. I'm supposed to be a servant in the home. We're supposed to serve one another. We're supposed to just help each other, but again. Mitch works all day long, and my schedule, I work too, but my schedule's freer. He has to be here.
But you didn't when your kids were little.
When I did, yeah.
Right? I mean, that's,
I
some
worked
people
hard.
have to work, but if you don't have to.
Yes, if you don't have to, yeah.
It's nice not to have to do that,
Yes,
right?
right.
But you're still with them all day.
You're with them all day.
And you're ready for a break sometimes.
Yes.
So,
and I think sometimes too, Mitch I'd say something to him or ask him something, and I kind of get the eye roll or the, you get kind of a begrudging help, and I had to learn to just not pay attention to that. At least he was doing it. I don't like doing stuff all the time either.
So I was actually going to make that point.
I mean, sometimes I'm at the sink and he wants me, like
I
today,
know.
he wanted
Come
me to
look at
stop
the-
what I was doing and come look at something. And I did it. I did it.
And go throw them a parade. Good
Yes.
job, honey.
And, but in my
You're
heart,
doing
I'm
such a
like,
good
I'm
job.
trying to water my
Yeah,
plants
I know.
because I have to be at church,
Yeah, but can you
so-
come hold this up while I nail
Yes,
that or whatever?
But at least I went and did it. So Mitch maybe when he got home from work and I really need a break and I want to go hang out with my friends for an hour and he's like, oh, okay. He doesn't seem like, yippee. I need to just cut him some slack.
So I was going to say that point too because I'm a believer in that if you are kind of a person that's like dumping coals of fire on their head, that verse. Right. I think that, and obviously it's not good if the person's grumbling. He should be doing it out of love and helpfulness and stuff like that. But if they're making an effort, and if anyone's guilty of this, it's me more than my wife because my wife is wonderful about taking care of the kids and all that stuff. And she's a stay-at-home mom. I'm the one that works, and so she's actually more should ask me more. I think about hey, I need this time.
Yeah.
You have the kids or whatever. But when I do have my kids and they're getting to that age where my youngest one is just starting to crawl and that's our third one. And so now they're just really busy. Like there's a lot going on with a 5 and 7 year old and they're loud and stuff like that. And she went to a conference or something like that. And I had him for a longer period of time than Dad normally has him. And by the time Mom got back, my first thought was like, I need to help her out more.
That was good.
Because it was so much work.
It shows you.
That, and so I don't know that you can answer, this in one specific thing, but communication, communicating with what each other's needs are, depends on your kids, depends on the personalities. You already mentioned prayer, and just going about it. And you know what, if he does it or if she does it, then go, okay, thank you, honey. Have a nice day.
Right.
And I think God's going to show him things and stuff like that. And if you got the eye roll or whatever, maybe that'll come, don't turn into a big old fight.
Right.
Go have your fun, enjoy it, don't worry about it, and then come back and go, Lord, okay. He said he'd do it, take
And
care
when
of
you
it.
come back and the house is like a disaster,
Then
don't
just
get all mad
don't-
about
yeah,
it.
just let
Because I used to come back and be like, what
What'd
you do to
what
my
happened
house?
here?
There's a
And
bomb
Steve was like,
exploded.
I was watching the kids. And I'm like, I do that every day.
And
the
clean.
things are, but he was actually really playing with
Yes.
them. Well, I don't play with them continually
Right. See,
because
I'm
I'm
not a big
doing
player.
laundry and I'm doing whatever and I'm telling them to go play. He was actually seriously playing with them.
The whole time.
He wasn't just reading over there while they all destroyed the house, so.
And also sometimes our husbands don't want to help us because we're so critical about their health.
Didn't do it right.
Or
that's a
please
good
watch
one.
the kids and do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. And, well,
Just leave. They can figure it out. Just go. Don't give them a bunch of instructions. If they want to know where dinner is, just say there's chicken nuggets
Yeah.
in the freezer, $3.50. That's all you have to do, right? And
Yeah.
then get out. And actually, they'll probably order pizza anyways. My kids were like so happy when I would leave because
yeah, Mitch
Dad
too.
is like, he's the party guy. We're having a lot
They're
of fun.
getting pizza tonight.
Yeah, they're getting something fun.
Mitch said on the women's retreat weekends, they all looked forward to it. So
Yeah.
I would leave and they would do whatever they wanted the whole weekend. They could have whatever they wanted to eat. They didn't have to make the bed, do the dishes. But about 2 hours before I was due home, it was clean up.
It was clean it.
And
Yeah,
I
go
actually had
time.
flowers and a present on the table when I came home. And I
And
love
I
that.
used to
an
make
idea.
I used to make all my meals like here's this for
Yes,
this
I
meal,
would
here's
try
it, and
that.
they never ate it
They
ever.
never ate it.
So then I stopped doing it
Yeah.
because they just got pizza.
Or-
they don't want my
Or
meal.
Dairy Queen. And
Yeah,
I'm
Dairy
sorry,
Queen.
in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah, they
once in
can
a while,
have
Dairy Queen's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're chicken nuggets
It's fine.
and heat up macaroni and cheese.
Mitch likes chicken nuggets, though. But yeah, so and if this person who asked that question lives here and wants to talk to us further, like has some more, like we didn't answer her question because she needs to give us more specifics.
Talk to Marcy. She's the counselor.
Just grab
have to have Marcy by me if you're going to talk to me about that.
We'll give us some specifics.
Yeah.
But anyways.